Alright, let's make sure I do the sound right. I am, okay. And I forgot I'm not muted. Okay. So it's week 11 of Act 2. The last transmission was... Hold on, let me read this first. I feel like the meteors change topics now. What makes you say that? No true, no false. We're just focusing on this newest signal. This kind of pattern or change in pace is how I choose where to group transmissions in the log. Interesting. Hadn't thought much about that. Okay. I wonder what the point of that transmission was. Is it just trying to tell me to look at the past transmissions in case I haven't? Maybe. But anyway, so alright, what I wanted to do at the start that I didn't do the other day was see how they define like a lot of these. So, because there was a lot of new things that have come up. So let's start with this one. True or false? Question. Statement. I like Q. Where is it? Here. Q. These. T, yeah. Yes is insane. What? So that means Collins would say this is no. That's insane to think of true or false as yes or no. So then what? Someone's gonna say this is not? Negate, reverse, exclamation point. Then, whoops. This, they say is and, but I'm already using and for something else. Ampersand. Yeah, that's what leaves me so confused on this one. Maybe this one is just meant to be an underscore. Formatting, it's only spaces. Sure. Okay, moving on. So, or, how does... He writes or because it doesn't let us do the vertical bar. That's kind of a shame. These are fine. I'm not going to pay attention to that. How about then? Arrow, yeah. Thus. Arrow is what I was doing, but I didn't like it because of how it bleeds into separate lines. So what do they say about this? Is larger than, that's, so yeah, they had, Collins had the same exact idea as me. Area greater. Whoops. Dictionary is smaller than, hypothesis smaller, area smaller is smaller than. I don't know. I don't like how I don't like Batista's idea here. I would consider doing Batista's idea with the arrow, but I'd have to do it more complex to really make sure it makes sense when there's multi-line, but I'll leave it alone. I prefer how it currently is. So everything I have right now is fine. Maybe I'll change my mind about the is smaller than is larger than later, but I think the point is we're going to be using actual language. So getting in a habit of using words like how Collins is suggesting might just make more sense as I keep going through. So anyway, we now have 0.0, 0.1, something, line 0. Then line 0, 0.0, 0.1. 0.2, 0.3, something, line 1. Then line 1, parentheses, 0.2, 0.3. Hey, check out the oscilloscopes. We can see the frequency matching each signal now. I updated it. Dr. Batista, the output console was already printing the frequencies, correct? Yep. Then, why did you add them? We used to work with individual frequencies, numbers. Now it is all abstracted into words and phrases. You're reminiscing? We have come far, that is all. Okay. So, line 0, line 1, line 2 turns into polygon 0. Line 2, line 3, line 4 turns into polygon 1. Line 1, line 0, line 2 should still be poly 0. So is this just is, or are parts of line 0, 0.0, line 0 is made up of 0.0 and 0.3. Line 1 is made up of whatever, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, line 6, line 7. Question mark, new symbol, poly 0. Okay, what was the previous transmission? It was everything with spaces. So I would just do line 0 through line 7 with spaces. And the new signal. I don't need to do the new signal though. So it's line 0 through line 7. No commas. Am I supposed to pay attention to the points? Maybe? Since I wasn't before. So we got a line from 0.0 to 0.3, a line from 0.1 to 0.3, a line from 0.2 to 0.3, a line from 0.3 to 0.6, a line from point 3 to point 4, a line from point 4 to point 5, a line from point 4 to point 6, a line from point 6 to point 7. This is hard to grasp, but basically what it wants me to do is find a cycle between the points. So I'll just do it on the whiteboard. So we got we've got 0 and 3. We've got 1 to 3. We've got 2 to 3. We've got 3 to 6. We've got 3 to 4. We've got 4 to 5. We've got 4 to 6. And then we've got 6 to 7. So 0 to 3, 1 to 3, 2 to 3, 3 to 6, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 4 to 6, 6 to 7. Okay, so where is the shape? Clearly from what I've drawn, the shape is just the cycle, which is only from 3 to 4 to 6. So it's line 3 to 6, 3 to 4, 4 to 6. So it's line 3. Line 3. I'm circling, it's not related to the points, so I'm just circling the line. Or actually, that means I would circle 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2. Line 3. 3 to 4 is line 4. 4 to 6 is line 6. So 3, 4, 6. Line 3, line 4, line 6. This has to be it. Okay, update pushed.
Is that it?
Yep, Batista. What's that thing? The reference tab. Physics and chemistry information. Are you serious? Not that it is relevant at the moment, but maybe later. Cool. Not that I'd need those, of course. I'm already a master of those subjects. Dr. Eckers, didn't you ask for the reference tab? Yeah. Holy... Holy... Okay. How are they gonna transition from shapes into physics and chemistry? Well, how are they doing it right now? Right now, we are identifying, they are testing if I'm able to connect, or given a set of information, I need to find a relationship between some of that information and identify how it relates to something else, I guess. So dictionary makes, let's try that. And deformatting, just gonna be space. So, or maybe it's just make, not makes. Make. Makes sense. Point 0 and point 1 make line 0. line 0, 1, and 2 make poly 0. 2, 3, 4 make poly 1. 0 and 1 make poly 2. What does that mean? Two different shapes make up a different shape. Poly 2 line segment count is equal to 4. Which means there needs to be an overlapping line segment, which is line segment 2. So it's line segment 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so it's two triangles with a shared side. But, oh, it's that line segment 2 is not used at all. That's what it's saying. So it's, the answer is 0, 1, 3, 4. The overlapping line evaporates, or dissolves. Okay. Point 0, point 1 make line 0. 0, 1, 2 makes shape 0. 1, 3, 4 makes shape 1. 4, 5, 6 makes shape 2. 2, 6, 7 makes shape 3. 0, 1, 2, 3 makes 4. 4 is 4 lines. Which lines make up shape 4? Okay. So we look at, all we do is we take 0, 1, 2, and 3 and find which overlaps. So L0, L1, L2. L1 has overlap. We've got L4. L4 has overlap. L4 is down here. We have L3. Let's bring it down. So we've got L1, L3, L4. So these are out. Then we've got L4, L5, L6. So now these are out. Then L2, L6, L7. And these are out, and these are out, leaving us with 0, 3, 5, 7. Entry not found. It's not L, it's LS. That's what I get for not using the same terminology. One zero 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 makes 512. 1, 2, 3 makes interesting. So now they're doing binary, I believe. So it's 0, 1, or are they doing binary? I wonder if they're asking, or if they're like identifying that we're in base 10 right now. So this is like them asking us a question. They're like, are you in base 10? If so, 1, 2, 3 in yours is what in ours? So I go 1, 2, 3, base 8 round, output 64. Is that correct? Right, because 1000, 12, yeah, so this is 64. Okay, I have no idea why it's not 64. Alright, what's the idea? What's that? You programmed something wrong? No. This transmission sends signals 1000, then it sends 1000 without the separator. That's not what I'm looking at. I just see 512 afterwards. That is because the base 10 compiler recognizes adjacent numerical signals. Signals greater than or equal to 0 are treated as numerical digits. Consecutive digits are appended to one another. Then the number is converted to base 10. So that's how something like their 10 is transformed into our 8. Yep. So now the same thing's happening but working against us. The digits 1000 are automatically converting to the values 512. Good find, Batista. Now that leaves the question. What do the digits 1, 2, 3 make in their number system? And what's that value in base 10? What's this one? Remember, compiler is automatically converting base 8 numbers to base 10. And you suspect we're losing part of the translation in the conversion? Yeah. Okay. Alan, you're sounding like Batista right now. I hope that is a one-way street. It rarely is. We spend this much time around each other. We're bound to start talking like one another. There are worse things in life than sounding more like me. I am struggling to think of such worse things. I'm confused. I'm so confused. Oh, okay. Base 10 to base 8. Base 8 to base 10. Alright, so then 1, 2, 3. Base 8 to base 10. 83. So what is... I was just doing the wrong... I was doing the wrong function. 111? $73. Yeah, so I was correct. We're just asking us what base we're in. We've got another new signal. Indeed, which makes me think that the prior transmission was testing us before we advanced to a new concept. I don't think so. So a little check off before we power on. That's my best theory so far. Now we have a new signal. Focus on the present. Work on this. Alright. There's just so much to analyze, so press on. Okay. 0.0 is at 1-1. So far, even though they've been declaring that, it hasn't been relevant, but maybe it's relevant this time. 0.0, 1, 2. 0.0 and 1, 2 make... No, 0.0 and 1, 2. And then some new signal. Then 0.0 2, 3. I don't know what's happening there, but sure. 0.1 minus 3 minus 1. 0.1. Is it translation? It's moving. So we say 0.0 moves right 1 up 2 and becomes 2, 3. Now we say minus 3 minus 1 moves down 3. No, left 3 up 4 and becomes 0, 3. No, minus 6, 3. Okay. 0.0 and 0.1 make line 0. Line 0 moves right 2. Okay, so moves. Move. Ooh. It's a translation, though, but we'll see what idea they have at the start of the next week to write out the meaning of the signal. So if it moves to the right, then it's showing how it ends up. So now 0.2 is at 2, 3, 0.3 is at 5, 4, and they make up this line. If the points end up at these spots, then how did line segment 1 move? So I need to see the first point moves left 1, down 1. Second point moves left 1, down 1. So it's minus, in parentheses, minus minus 1, minus minus 1. Okay, so important question. This minus minus thing I'm doing, I probably shouldn't. Well, okay, no. So we are not allowed to have 2 different definitions have this same definition to define 2 different signals. So that's why I have the double minus. I just have to accept that until there's something that... I agree with both of you. And how's that? You gotta pick a side, Carrie. Well, it fits the use of the word and it's vague. We'll have to see if this abstract definition fits its future use cases. Dr. J-Dog, go with what makes sense to you. Translate. Translate. Pardon me, but I fail to see how this signal is translating anything. Mathematical translation, moving geometry. Oh, as in movement. I see now. Carrie, you should have known that. Oh, hush, Icarus. You were thinking the same as I, weren't you? Yeah, I was. Okay, so we have 0.0 in 3D space. 1, 1, minus 1. And minus 1, 1, minus 1. Alright, that's too much to look at, so they're saying all of these points, 7 points, make up poly 0. Or 8 points. So that is likely a cube again. And given how it's a bunch of 1s and -1s, it's just the same cube we had last time. So now, if we translate the cube on the x-axis, right, 8, and on the z-axis, backward, -8. Then 0.0 move, or 0.0 is variable 0. 0.7 is variable 1. What are for variable 0 and variable 1? Well, 0.0 is at 1, 1, -1. And if we add 8 to the x and -8 to the z, it's gonna be 9, 1, -9. So the first one bar 0. I forgot how to write this. Oh no, it wants me to write. How do I write this? I have to go back because I don't remember. I have to go back to anything that has var 0. The thing is, var 0 represents 3 numbers. I guess instead of doing that, I'll just try what I was thinking. So it's gonna be double parentheses. First time we're doing double parentheses though, that's gonna be 9, 1, -1, 9. And then comma. Bar 1 is 0.7, which is -1, -1, 1. So it's -1 plus 8 is going to be 7, -1, -7. It worked. So they do want me to use double parentheses. Okay. So now we have 4 points to make a square, 4 points to make another square, a new point. Now we have an array containing the first shape and this point, and %, or adding, or combining with an array containing the other shape. I think. 0.8 now translates 3, 0 to become this. Then array 0, poly 0, and array 1. Maybe it's saying the 0.8 is inside of the first square, but it's not inside of the second square. But now that it's translated up 3, 0.8 is no longer in the first square, but it is in the second square. So we would say poly 1 comma p8. Okay. So we have 2 squares. 0.3. Oh, what do they want? That last transition wasn't just math. What do you mean? It wasn't asking us to solve for some area. It used arrays to organize information based on a point. They were classifying information by associating objects. And why is that exciting? Because they're establishing how to talk about, not math. Okay. 0.3 translates. We don't know how it translates, it just moves. So we're saying 0.3 is translated. So now, shape 0 is made of 3, and shape 1 is made of 5 things. Shape 2 is made of 1 point, a new point. 0.6 and 0.7 now translate. And then shape 0 remains the same. Shape 1 loses 0.6 and 0.7. So am I supposed to assume that 0.6 and 0.7 are now part of poly 2? I don't know if that's what happens. But let's say it is. So that means poly 2 is P8, P6, P7. But I think it's the wrong answer. It's not the wrong answer. Oh, that's odd. 2 new signals. And I thought we were almost done. Why would you possibly think that, Ackers? So we got 2 shapes with 4 points. And then shape 0 does something with 0.3. Shape 1 translates. Then what happens at the end of those operations is shape 0 no longer has 0.3, and shape 1 has 0.3. So it just wants me to put poly 1, but it doesn't really tell me what happened. Or how to define the words yet. Okay. So 2 more squares. We have variable 0 with the first undefined signal. P7. Translate variable 1. Then shape 0 has P7, and shape 1 no longer has it. So what is variable 0 and variable 1? Well, we have to look at the previous transmission and see. Maybe it says move 0.3 from shape 0. Or translate point 3 from shape 0 into shape 1. Would that make sense here? From shape 0, move, or for shape 0, from shape 0 from 0.7 moves to, or shape 2, 2. So if that makes sense, so this would be from. We'll see if this holds consistent. I'm partial to calling this one source. Source? Why? As in, whatever precedes source is the source of some action. Too much. I'm with Dr. J Dog. 2. 2, I like it. You like everything. It's good to be supportive. Some selection and support would go a long way. That is all. Such a negative Nancy, that one. Okay, so what log did I miss? 2? But it comes after. Yes, another quirk of the Meteor language. Their prepositions seem to follow the object. Reminds me of Japanese grammar at times. Show off. Why did... It's weird. So if I go back... What, he has 2 different reactions to the same word. That's so odd. Anyway. So it's the answer is parentheses poly 0 parentheses poly 0 comma space poly 1 close parentheses. No. Why? Oh, it's from poly 1 to poly 0. Okay, reference tab updated. You used the info I gave you to start. To start, what does that mean? Oh god, what is this? You ruined the information I gave you. You gave too much. Easy program. I've got to add some astronomer's notes to this. Always a thankless job. The meteor, or meteorite for pedants like Dr. Akers. Astronomer's note, rude and unnecessary. Chondrite, dimensions, arrival date, astronomy. Holy, that's so much information. I'm not gonna look at it until I need to. Okay, so we have a list. Actually, what are their suggestions? Struct makes sense. Container geometry. Struct. Okay, let me try struct just to see what he says. Nothing? Okay, fine. I'm doing list. I just don't like array anymore, because I keep referring it to it as a list anyway. So now we say from list 0, move line segment 0. Wait. Yeah. From list 0, move line segment 0 to list 1. Then list 1 becomes 0.1, line segment 1, line segment 0. Now we have list 0 containing 3 variables and list 1 is empty. List 0, from list 0 we move variable 0, variable 1, and variable 2 into list 1. So now list 1 has variable 0, variable 1, variable 2. It would be convenient, I think. There's no space after variable. That was the last one. I was about to consider changing variable to be like just v, but it's fine. Dr. J-Dog, tell me you have figured it all out. Tell me we've cracked their language. Tell me we've solved the message. Dr. Doppler, I suspect you will be happy to hear of our progress. Dr. J-Dog has named the latest entries Make and Translate. Go on. They're words, sir. Real words. Verbs to apply in math. To apply in regular everyday contexts. Our shared language is growing. So no, we have not cracked their language and we have not solved the message, but beyond learning how to format numbers and associate information, beyond this, we may soon communicate to transmit information. Soon, I imagine. We are on the precipice of learning something about the aliens, their mission, their message. Thank you, Dr. Collins. It isn't me that you should thank. Dr. J-Dog, I hope you can feel the gratitude and pride I feel for you. We depend on bright minds like you on this team. Perhaps this trophy can convey the immense joy I feel. I know it isn't much, but it's the thought, right? Dr. J-Dog is Employee of the Week? That's right. Thank you, Dr. J-Dog. We would be nowhere in this discovery if we were without you. That's it. Okay. Seems move was actually better than translate, but we'll see. Some transmissions have used shapes in 3 dimensions. That is difficult to visualize. A tool could help. Dear Diary, it's difficult to convey what it is I hoped to describe in our end-of-week meeting. It's like small children learning to read, then reading to learn. The meteor has taught us how to understand their transmissions, and now the transmissions may communicate something of value. That is my hope anyway. Each week, I'm afraid I torture my poor translation team with burdensome questions and high expectations. Questions like, have we cracked their language? It's the same as asking, are we there yet? Like my little Bradley used to in the backseat. But hey, it looks like my pestering questions are slowly getting answered. I can't wait to see Batista's 3D shape visualization. I read his thoughts. Okay, I will stop since that one felt kind of long and I started later than usual, so That's all.